Hello and welcome back to the TBC. Sadly, we've been off the air for a few weeks because I had to undergo a minor operation which meant I couldn't drive. But I'm happy to announce that I'm fully mended and ready to go. And what a way to return with this truly exceptional driver's car. But before we start, a quick message for any petrol heads living in the Merseyside area. Would you like your own Pride and Joy reviewed on the TBC? There's no cost, just your time for the day and of course the use of your car. I'm looking for something unusual, a classic or performance car. If your car does fit the bill and you want it immortalised forever on YouTube, then just message me the details and I'll get in touch. Okay, on with the show. As you can see behind me is the fantastic BMW E46 M3, in my opinion, the best M3 ever. But before we take it out on the road for a test drive, let's look at how it all started. In 1986, and built for racing homologation purposes, the original BMW M3 E30 was designed to push the envelope of what an already capable 3 Series could do. Back then, it was an automotive icon, even though now its power output is probably eclipsed by, say, a Honda Civic. Over the decades, the M3 has only grown in power, performance, and in some cases weight, growing from a niche sports saloon to one of the most popular performance-focused cars in the industry. They're all incredibly easy to drive very quickly, a trait deeply envied by the M3 competitors. Yes, any M3 will do. There are now 6 generations to choose from, all scintillating the unique details, underlying qualities of greatness. But for me, there's only one that really stands out, and it's this one here, the E46 M3. Like the E36 before it, the E46 M3 ditched the obvious signs that it was a performance monster. Apart from the slight hint of madness from the beefed up wheel arches meant to contain its wider track and the bonnet bulge, it looks like a regular 3 Series convertible. The new generation also held on to its inline 6-cylinder engine, but displacement was increased to 3.2 litres and the power was boosted to a whopping 340 horsepower. The E46 surpasses the E36 in refinement and comfort, offering improved power and an upscaled interior despite a less driver-focused centre stack. Rather than a typical automatic, the E46 generation was offered with a somewhat rough SMG gearbox that used a electro-hydraulic actuated clutch. My word, that's a mouthful. Thankfully, this one has a standard 6-speed manual, definitely the wiser choice. Compared to other M3s, the E46 perhaps is the best blend of track-focused handling and power with modest luxury. No tricky electronics or turbos, just direct mechanical feel. And this is why I think the E46 is the best M3. The downsides, well, it won't be the easiest car to maintain, but then it'll be worth it. So folks, the start of the show, the 3.2 litre inline 6-cylinder engine, the BMW E46 M3. What an absolute masterpiece. 340 galloping horses, high revving, fantastic engine. Can't wait to try this on the road. Well, I guess now it's time to take it for a spin. Well, before we set off, let's put the roof up, see what that looks like as well. Just a bit slow on this car because of the technology, basically. It's not as quick as the more modern cars, but there we go. Up she goes, ready for our test drive. Fantastic. Okie dokie, and off we go in the BMW E46 M3. Wow! Okay, now behind the wheel of this wonderful E46 M3, the best M3 in my opinion. Why do I think it's the best M3? Well, it's the most direct mechanical driving car that they did, and it was the sweet spot because you got horsepower as well, an upgrade from the E36 and the E30. You got a brilliant chassis with the car. The car looks great, it's got those flared wheel arches, understated as well, which I really like about the car. And of course, the star of the show, that 6-cylinder inline engine, and it sings, it really does sing, and it's got up to 8,000 revs as well. In fact, let's drop it down a gear and just get the revs up, have a listen to that. Oh my word, that is tremendous. Ooh, yes, I'm loving this car. Let's talk about the steering. Really direct, really planted, brilliant chassis on this car. You feel everything through the wheel, which again you don't do with modern cars, and I really like that about this car. The wheel's really chunky, so it feels lovely in the hand. Really do like that. Clocks are all laid out perfectly, all clear. Let me just throw it into this corner now, just into, yeah, it's really grippy. It just handles very, very well. As you'd expect, it's an M3. We've got a manual gearbox, of course, with this one, which is, as I said earlier, is the perfect choice. And there's no tricky turbos, there's no electronics to mess around with the visceral drive. It's just you in the car, and I love that. And of course, back in the day, this was a lot of horsepower. 340 horsepower is a lot. This was the daddy in the day. And of course, you've got to think about the practicality of the car as well, because you've got 2 seats at the back and a decent boot. And this was 911 territory, this car. With the performance it had, it could keep up with the big boys. Let's just try the brakes as well, see what they're like. Yeah, really sharp. One thing that is annoying with the car, and frustratingly in fact, is the pedals. There's a rest plate on the left-hand side of the footwell, but it's too close to the clutch pedal. You keep on catching it with your foot all the time, so it's really frustrating, that is. Okay, so the suspension's firm. It is an M car. To be honest with you, with this, the E46 model, they put a sport suspension in all the cars to give it a more sporty drive. That's what they wanted to do when they brought this car out. And with the M3, you've got extra suspension features on it to give it more stability at high speed and give you more grip as well. Okay, let's open up the taps, change up, really shifts. Really got loads of power there to play with. Just do a racing change. Down to third on the throttle, and you got the power again straight away. Listen to that. Let's get them revs right up and let it sing. Woohoo! Beautiful. My perfect combination: manual gearbox, rear wheel drive, loads of horsepower to play with. I've spent a bit of time behind the wheel now, and I'm enjoying it more and more. Every minute I get behind the wheel, it's making me smile even more. I've really enjoyed it, to be fair. I don't want to give it back, and it's a wonderful car. And if you've got one of these, very lucky indeed. So the BMW M3 in a nutshell, a performance practical sports saloon built by BMW, so you got legendary build quality, and they're getting harder to get hold of. This particular model only going to go up in value. If you can grab one now, low mileage, get it while you can. The BMW E46 M3, what a pucker car this is. Brilliant. A big shout out for Mark from Hillside Vehicle Trading for letting us use his car today. Cheers, Mark. Obviously, thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to check out my other videos on classic cars and performance cars, all on the Tim Bush channel. Brilliant.
You have been watching the fabulous Tim Bush channel.